10 million players compete for 10 million credits in 10 different competitions. We have set up 10 challenges for you, 2 for each soldier type, so everybody gets a chance to actually win 1 million credits. That's 1 million credits in per competition and 10 million credits in all, just to make that clear. All the details of what challenges you need to compete are on the website. Once you completed it, you don't need to do anything further because we automatically register if you completed it, and we will draw a winner from that, and that winner will get we'll get in contact with that winner or those 10 winners directly. So that's basically the contest. We'll hope to see you going at it. It will end January 27th. Another thing on our website you might want to check out is that we have 2 new job postings. You can find them under development, jobs at Reto. We're looking for a senior environmental artist, and we're looking for a software developer. That might be you, that might be somebody you know, but please help us get the word out there so we can get as many qualified candidates as possible to help us create this awesome game. And to join us here at the offices at Copenhagen. It's a fun place to be.
And that's your Dutch.
Yeah.
Everybody teases you.
But that's because you're Dutch. And last piece of news is that this Tuesday we deployed a hotfix for the game with a few changes. All the changes are on the website on the changelog if you want to have a closer look. But the 2 most important ones is that we have redesigned the flow of the game for new players, making it much faster, much easier for new players to join us, and hopefully also guiding them a little bit along the way in what they're supposed to do in the game. And we hope that that will get a lot more qualified and cool players to join you in the war. The other thing that we have put into the hotfix is that we are at the moment working with a credit model that ties your credit earnings tighter together with the XP, still keeping the soldier salary intact. So you get a soldier salary and you get an amount of credits based on the XP you get in a battle. The reason we are working with this model at the moment is to encourage active gameplay, to encourage players to take an active part in the battle, and thereby rewarding you guys who actually make a difference and fight for your friends. That's the news for now, and as I can see, we might actually have a working network.
We still have some drop frames.
We still have drop frames. Can we go forward?
Yeah.
We will go forward.
I'm gonna have to try, I guess.
Sorry.
It's gonna be a little more likely for me to crash now.
Okay. Because Reto Susannes, you're gonna be our designated pilot today. Makes me very comfortable that you're drinking beer and driving or planes at the same time. That's really comforting. Yeah. But we have an update coming up. The update is the update 1.03. As you might have noticed, we are going away from naming our updates with a letter. Instead, they will only have what we call the cinematic title. And this update is Wings of War update. So it contains planes. Big surprise. What? First off though, we wanted to have a look at the new plane controls. And you have a Recon fighter ready for us?
Yes, I do.
And when you enter the game, what you get is what we see at the screen at the moment?
Yes.
In terms of controls?
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about how they work, these default controls?
Well, basically, as Reto McFly said, these are the controls which you begin with if you're a new player and you buy a pilot. What is a huge difference in comparison to the old controls is actually the plane goes where I put my mouse. So if I go to the left, my plane goes to the left. If I aim to the right, my plane goes to the right. And at the same time you have the red crosshair in the middle of your screen, which indicates where you're actually shooting. And well, actually flying is quite easy now.
It seems pretty simple. Seems pretty simple.
It's still pretty maneuverable, and yeah, it doesn't feel clumsy at all, and you can do anything you want with it basically. It's very nice way to fly your plane actually.
Cool. And I'm guessing that you can go into settings and you have a few options.
Yes, there's more than one plane control being available to everyone. So right now it's set on steering with the mouse, so wherever I go with the mouse, that's where the plane goes.
Cool.
And the plane throttle mode is set on automatic, which means that if I speed up the plane and I leave on button W, then it automatically goes back to the optimal combat speed. But we also have other options, which is the camera, and I will just set the throttle mode different as well. Which means that right now I aim where my camera is. I go where the camera is. The plane goes where the camera is right now. So it's slightly different as using your mouse. You still use your mouse for it, but it flies where the camera is aimed at. And next to that, the throttle control, this is one of the 3 throttle controls, is that it goes in steps. So every time I press W or S, default controls actually, W or S, I can decide at which speed the plane is going to fly. Which is
pretty simple.
Yeah, and actually this one, yeah, it feels a bit the same as the mouse, but it's actually quite a difference in how your plane reacts to what you do. But this is also, I mean, it really depends on preference in the end, but this is also actually quite a comfortable way of flying your plane.
So you say it depends on you as a player, what you prefer in the game, what works best for you.
Yeah.
And
you
of
can
course, if you prefer the old controls, you can also set the old controls.
You have the old controls as well?
Yeah. So in the input settings again, we've had the camera and the mouse now. You also have the classic function. That is the way most veteran players are used to. And just to set a different throttle mode as well is the smooth throttle control, which means you can hold W or S until you reach the level you want it to reach. And of course in this normal mode you have as the screen already says, the control to use alternate controls, so you can actually do some more advanced maneuvers or can more easily execute them.
It's also worth mentioning that in the 2 mouse controls you can also manually roll the plane by using the A and D keys if you want to make some advanced maneuvers while in those modes.
I'm making everybody dizzy now on stream.
Everybody's dizzy, that's much appreciated. And if you wanted to, you can fly a lot slower now.
Yes, based on the user feedback we had from the community, I've tweaked the stall speeds a bit, so now you can fly a lot slower without it starting to stall. This is especially good on the fighter planes, which people thought were too fast. The speed of the fighter planes have been slightly decreased in general, but they are mostly around the same as they were before, but they now have the ability to fly slower, so you can actually get behind a Recon plane without passing it instantly.
That might prove useful.
Yeah.
And say we see something on the ground we don't like, what do we do now?
Yes.
Well, we have something on the bottom here.
That's pretty.
And oh, it falls. Oh no. I was wondering where it's actually going to land, but oh, there it is.
There was.
So while we were making this new plane update, we had an ambition to make a new bomb system where you can choose a loadout between the different bombs. But this isn't quite ready yet, so we left it out at the first iteration of the plane when we introduced the Recon planes. Then based on the community feedback that the planes were more or less useless against ground targets. We added some bombs for now. These are basically the bombs we already had in the game, but now we applied them on the recon planes based on the community feedback, so now you do have bombs. We will revisit the bomb system later, where we'll have something like you can upgrade your bombs, choose how many bombs you want, and that could influence how the plane will fly.
But all 3 recon planes now have
All 3
bombs.
recon planes have bombs. We had to take some liberties to the placement of the bombs. For instance, the Russian plane has 2 small bombs, which is not unusual for it. The German planes has 1 medium bomb, which is slightly larger than what the plane actually is supposed to have, but for game balancing we went for the larger bomb because it only has 1. And the US plane also has 2 small bombs.
Okay.
So now you at least have a fighting chance against people around while you're in a recon plane.
We hope so. Yeah. Cool. So that's it for controls at the moment. You will actually also get a chance to try out the new controls later if you join us on the prototype test. But again, after the Devstream. But let's try to land this and make it if you can.
It's very optimistic.
Drinking, so you
Mike,
can't
can you put
blame.
your phone away, please? They hear the buzzing.
Oh, sorry.
So let's introduce the new planes.
Let's do that.
I should mention that we have moved the planes categories a bit around. So now the P38, the US fighter plane, has now been bumped up to a heavy fighter class. And the heavy fighter class will feel a bit more heavy when you're flying them. And they are a bit more heavily armed. And in the strategy map, the heavy fighters will have a longer range. They'll be flying faster. So the first plane we'll introduce now is the new American medium fighter. And here we have the P40 Warhawk. A thing
nice
of
plane.
beauty.
It has first aid, so that's a good thing, you know.
So the P40 is it was first introduced in 1938. It's the 3rd most produced American fighter of the war, followed by the P51 and the Mustang, and the P47 Thunderbolt are the 2 that were more produced than this one. So it's the 3rd most produced. I think it was 13,700 and something
Yeah,
produced.
something like that, yeah.
It was usually considered a sort of a mediocre plane, but actually it was surprisingly popular. It had a poor high altitude performance. It wasn't particularly fast, although it was noted to have one of the fastest dive speed of any plane in the war. In fact, the fighter ace, what's his name, Clive Caldwell, he stated that the P40 is faster downhill than almost any other aeroplane with a propeller. And of course, this will be reflected in the game. Because it wasn't too great at high altitudes, it didn't see that much service on the Western European front over the English Canal, but it was very much used in Italy, the East Europe, Middle East, North Africa, Pacifics, you name it, everywhere else really. The model we are including in the game is the N model, so it's the P40N, and it was one of the latest production models of it. It introduced a longer fuselage, it had an improved cockpit with a better view, and it had some weight reductions which gave it a higher climb rate, because the climb rate was one of the things that was its faults. It was very popular as a ground attack actually, and we'll also see why in just a minute. And it even earned the nickname the B40, as if it was a bomber. It is armed with 6 50 caliber machine guns, although it does not have an automatic cannon. But these 6 machine guns are absolutely devastating. It's the fastest rate of fire of any of the planes we have in the game. In addition to its machine gun, it has 6 small bombs under its wings and under its fuselage. So you have a good chance of hitting something on the ground, as you can see.
Cool.
I think that's it about the history.
Yeah, you did some nice things with the model, with the...
It looks awesome.
If you're wondering why we went for the P40 instead of the P51 Mustang, which was also high on our list, it's because this one matched the performance of our other medium fighters better than the P51. Although I must say that the P51 is still on our high on our list of things that we'll probably get in the game.
Things you like to fly in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds reasonable.
And even though we cannot hear the sound, but I mean, we've had some play sessions with it as well. This thing sounds brutally awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crash.
There we go. Oh. You're not supposed to land it.
Look at that. Working, isn't it?
And as you can see, even he can land a plane now, so flying must have been...
That must have been made much easier.
Yeah, exactly.
So to sum up the Warhawk?
So the Warhawk is the new US medium fighter, which will come up against the BF-109 and the Yak-9.
Yeah.
And it's actually one of my favorite planes in the game at the moment, even though all of its stats isn't particularly good. It's just the sum of the stats makes it work really well.
That's great. And the reason you need this as a pilot is because
it's more nimble than the P38. It's great for attacking smaller ground targets because you have so many bombs. And it's just a pleasure to fly, really.
Cool.
It is a pleasure to fly. I can confirm that. It really is a nice plane to fly.
That's great. So that's the Warhawk for you.
That's the Warhawk.
Yeah, it's coming in. The Wings of War update.
Excellent.
Now
let's take a look at our new heavy fighter. It's 80.
Yeah.
So this is the German heavy fighter. This is the Messerschmitt Me410.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. The 410 is the further development of the failed Me210, which never really went into production because it was too unstable. The 210 was introduced in, I think it was 38 or 39. Was tested and it just didn't work. So they redid the design, they lengthened the fuselage, they changed the design of the wings, and then introduced the 410 in 1943. The 410 was designed to be used as both a bomber and as a fighter in various configurations.
Oh, I can't even get on.
It was especially used as night fighters and night bombers. And it has a very long range and a very high speed. It was pretty much built for speed and firepower. As a result, it does suffer from poor maneuverability, but when you can outfly anything, that doesn't really matter. You can just fly away, turn around, and then do another approach.
Let's get it off the ground then.
Of course, the configuration we have it in is the 410B2, which is the fighter variant. It's one of the later fighter variants with two 20mm machine guns at the front and two 13mm machine guns also toward the front. I hope people can hear that sound because it's an awesome sound. So, as you may have noticed, we also have Ken Solo, who has joined us as a rear gunner, and that of course means that this new heavy fighter has a rear gunner. This works sort of like the rear gunners on the Recon planes, except that in this plane the gunner is actually controlling two barbettes on the side, two turrets, which will turn to where you are aiming. And only the one turret on the side that you're aiming at will be shooting. There's a bit of an overlap between the two, so when someone is directly behind you, it will fire both guns at them. So the Me410, even though it's in its B2 fighter role, still has a bomb bay which contains two medium bombs. If you can do a bombing run at something.
Anything will do.
Just drop them. There we go. So that's two medium bombs. The plane could also be upgraded from the factory with various other armaments which would be placed in place of the bomb bay. And they had the U2 variant, which had two extra 30mm machine guns in the bomb bay, or they could replace those with a single 50mm cannon, which was usually used to shoot down bomber planes. So, as I mentioned, it's built for speed and firepower, but it doesn't have too good of maneuverability. So if you get into a close-range dogfight with some of the medium fighters, the best option is just to try to get away. It does have a very good climb rate, so you can usually get away by just going up. And I see you got Reto-moto, well done.
Ken Solo is doing some finishing touch. I'm going too fast. It's not going to deploy the landing gear.
The heavy fighters will be a bit more difficult to fly than the other ones. So the Recon planes will be the easiest ones to fly. The medium fighters will be slightly more difficult, but still quite maneuverable, while the heavy fighters will feel, I wouldn't say sluggish, but when you do a sharp turn, you'll feel that it sort of drifts more.
That's the reason they're named heavy fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to recap, what are the advantages of this particular plane? It would be the rear shooting.
It has the rear gunner, which is a good thing, and it has a whole lot of frontal firepower, and it's fast. It's very, very fast.
Great. Your rear gun is still fighting?
No, that's me.
Ah, that's you.
See, I'm just so nice that it automatically switches to the next gun. Sorry. This is toy candy.
Great.
So that was the German heavy fighter. Let's go for the Soviet one.
Oh, this is gonna be close. Oh, you know. That is. Oh, a little too close, maybe.
So this is the Pyatlakov Pe3bis, which was introduced in 1941. It's based on the PE2 bomber. And it was made because the Soviet Union recognized that they needed a heavy fighter which would work for night fighting. It would do long-range escorts, and later it would also end up doing a long-range reconnaissance. It wasn't that heavily produced. They only produced about 360 of them, although some PE2s were converted to the same configuration as a fighter. The change between the PE2 and the PE3 is that it's up-armored. They removed some of the defensive armament of the PE2 to make it more of a fighter, to go head-to-head with other planes. And they did some changes to the turret, which you can see here behind it. In the early Pe2s, you'd only have a rear canopy which you could lower down and then stick a machine gun out, which wouldn't have a very broad arch of fire. They changed the design a couple of times to this turret, which has a very wide field of view of operation. And then they removed the bomb sights and had some other changes to it. But generally just converted it from a bomber role to a heavy fighter role.
Does it fly?
Let's hope so.
I think it flies. The question is, can I fly it?
That was close.
Yeah.
And now you see you already have a rear gunner. So the Pe3bis, which was available in quite a lot of configurations. This one we have has a single 20mm frontal gun. Then it has two 50 caliber machine guns at the bottom. These are located just below the fuselage. And this is one of the evidence of one of the later versions of the plane, because the early ones had two machine guns in the nose. But the pilots complained that during night fighting, the muzzle flash from these machine guns would blind the pilot. So they changed the location to underneath the plane, so it wouldn't. And you crashed. Well done.
Not enough altitude.
So, anyways, it has its machine guns below the fuselage. We'll just let you spawn the plane again. And hopefully not crash.
Usually it can get up to speed. Yes, there we go.
Great, we're flying again.
All right.
Sorry, my bad.
This plane had a lot of different uses. It was good for ground attack. It was good at long range escorts, night fighting, night bombing, and even long-range reconnaissance. Its rear armament is rather interesting. It has that one turret with a 12.7 or 50 caliber machine gun. It has a very wide angle of attack, and in addition to that, there's a fixed tail gun, 7.62mm machine gun, which the support gunner can also trigger.
Oh, you got him. Nice.
That's not nice. But okay.
Sorry.
I think that rules against that.
No prisoners of war today. Sorry.
The performance of the plane is rather average. It has an average speed, it has average maneuverability. One thing it does excel at is recovering from dives. Since it was originally based on a dive bomber, it's surprisingly good at still doing dive attacks. So if you are diving at full speed, it's easy to pull up and recover from that, where the other planes might have some difficulties in pulling up when you're at full dive speed. I don't know if there's much more else to tell about this plane.
So to recap shortly, this is the plane you want if you want to make your rear gunner happy.
Yeah, and it also does have a powerful frontal armament.
It is a good gun as well.
Yeah.
This thing shreds things to pieces, like pilots dropping from planes.
And if you can actually execute the dives, it will be pretty powerful in combat.
I forgot to mention that this one is carrying two medium bombs as well.
Yeah, I already dropped those, but I'm not getting. I'm loading new ones. Give me a moment.
And there they go.
My rear gunner is shredding that plane.
That's great. And all three of these new planes will be available in the Wings of War update, arriving hopefully shortly.
Yes.
Should be.
Yes.
Great.
So that's it for the new planes.
But we promised you a giveaway. We're gonna do a giveaway.
Yeah, we can.
Just gonna need some help from our trusty pilot.
Do we make Can Solo suffer or?
Just
Make
try
him
to
suffer.
land.
He can.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody's about to crash somewhere. Giveaway.
We're gonna do a giveaway. And well, you might think you know the drill, but you don't, because you need to type !plane today to take part in the giveaway.
And I'm going to start it now.
And we're gonna start it now. That's cool. So everyone typing !gold is not taking part in the giveaway. Everybody typing !plane is taking part.
Only on Twitch.
And it only works on Twitch, unfortunately. So you guys watching us on Facebook can't take part. I'm sorry. But you can enjoy our pretty faces while we wait for enough to have entered the competition.
So,
And you're going away at it. That's pretty cool.
yeah, the list is growing quite rapidly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Should we give them a bit more time?
Yeah.
Or?
I see people typing !gold.
Yeah,
It's
I see
it's
that
not
as
gonna
well.
work.
But
it's, yeah, I think.
I think we're about there.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to stop the entry, then pick a winner, and that winner is.
It's Cobra 2K. So Cobra 2K, please post a message in the chat, and Reto-moto will grab a hold of you and help you with.
Or rather,
Your
please
prize.
get a hold of Reto
Or get a hold of
_Splixon.
Reto-moto, whatever works for you.
Has to confirm.
You
Yeah.
have to confirm, yeah.
Write something.
Yay! Congratulations, Cobra 2K.
That's cool. Great. Congrats on that. Let's get back to not the game at the moment, or the game, but we don't have live pictures of the next part. But you have some nice screenshots for us.
Yes, I do. Hold on. Which one you want to show first?
Ooh, one of the new factory skins, because
Not
actually-
the range?
what?
The range?
Yeah,
The factory?
yeah.
Okay.
And actually, Cristiano, that's your doing, but
I suppose it is. So we have redone the factory textures of some of the existing planes. So they have been given a new paint job, some new color schemes, and this is to make a sort of
it's basically to bring along a sense of design.
yeah.
In all factory skins,
So all
all
the factory
paint jobs.
skins will be plain color, and
Yeah.
it will be the same plain color for all the planes in that faction. So even though it's now just one color, we have added a lot more details, more markings, more decals, like the lines on the wings telling you where you can step and where you can't step. All of this really brings out more of the plane. So it adds more detail even though it's a more plain texture. So this will be the new factory skin for when you buy one of these older planes. And if you already have one of the old planes, you will keep the current texture you have, and you will have the ability to get this one as well.
And just for the record, this is the Messerschmitt BF109.
Yeah.
Yes. And the old textures will not be available to people who have not previously bought the plane. So you need to have owned the plane before the next update to receive the old textures.
It's a cool way of setting you apart as a more or less of a veteran
Yeah.
pilot.
Yes.
But let's show off some paint jobs then.
Yes.
We have some more.
And of course, since we are
See, that's not a factory one. That's the totally new one.
that is the new variation paint job. It's sort of similar to the old factory skin, but with added details and a bit more crisp texture.
Exactly.
So this is the texture you will be able to upgrade to when you have unlocked that variation.
Cool.
It's like, I'm a very friendly plane, but I will still shoot you out of the sky anyway.
They will. Definitely they will.
I also add that while updating these textures, we have also made a new propeller effect. So you'll notice in game that the propeller now looks much nicer. It has more of reflections when it catches the light.
That's nice. That's nice. Let's see some more paint jobs.
So here we have the P38. This is the variation you can buy, which is now camouflaged. Like with the other plane, we have added more details, more decals, text everywhere, markings telling you where to put the fuel, and all that. That really brings the plane more to life.
You're not allowed to step on the cockpit. It's what I usually do, you know.
And you have the new factory skin for that one as well.
The factory skin looks also fairly similar to the old one, except it's redone. It's a bit more crisp. We don't have those white and black stripes on it anymore. And like with the other plane, if you have the P38 now, you'll keep the old texture, and you'll also be able to get this new factory skin to choose from.
And by necessity, there has to be one more plane.
There's one more plane. There's, of course, the Yak-9. This is the new factory skin. Again, it's a plain green color, just like you see on the Recon plane. So this green color will be the factory skin for all the Soviet planes. And again, more details added, text, decals, stuff like that.
Let's see the last one, paint job.
And this is the variation for the Yak-9, which is a mountain texture,
Yeah.
mountain camouflage, and again added more details to it in general.
Oh man, now I want a yak as well, my precious character.
You need to get one, man. You need to get one.
And as with the other planes, if you already have the Yak-9, you'll keep your old texture, so you can gloat that you were cool before the other kids.
Exactly. We like that, being cool before the other kids. So we talked a lot about planes today. We're going to talk a little bit more about planes. Most importantly, though, about the planes coming in Wings of War is that all factions now have a recon plane, a medium fighter plane, and a heavy fighter plane. So there's a lot more action going on in the sky, and a lot more options for choosing the plane and the play style that you actually prefer as a pilot. Unless, of course, you go all in and have all three planes available.
Also, it's a great learning curve. It's easy to fly the recon planes. It gets slightly more difficult to fly the medium fighters, and the heavy fighters are more difficult yet to fly.
Exactly. And they all have an impact on the war.
They do. They certainly do. Yeah, which is actually, as can already be seen right now with the recon planes and the medium fighters, is that each assault team has various ranges, whereas the recon has the smallest and the medium currently has the biggest. But with the introduction of the heavy fighter assault team, that means there is going to be some slight changes. So I prepared a few pictures. Oh, it's a bit pixely. That's a little more pixely than I thought. But this is the current range of, or this is going to be the range in update 103 of the recon planes. So as you can see, they have a rather limited range. Then we have the mediums, which have a much larger range already and can be used in battles which are further away from your airfield. And we have, of course, the new added heavy fighter assault team, which has a significant range to scare the crap out of everybody if you see them up here. So they have, they have a very large range. They can be used very far on the battlefields, and do a lot of damage on the field.
So experienced generals can look forward to
Yeah.
utilizing planes as well.
I think it goes both ways.
Goes both
An
ways.
experienced general will not be happy if this gets sent into your battle.
That's war for you.
Yeah, that's war.
Can't keep everybody happy. That's cool. And as an added bonus, we should mention that we actually have a 25% discount on pilots at the moment. It's only for a limited time, but we want to get you flying. So stop by and get some wings.
Yeah, now is the time.
Yeah, exactly. Now's the
Prepare
time.
for those heavy fighters.
Exactly, they're coming shortly. Now we talked a lot about planes. There are other soldiers on the wall. There's infantry soldiers, and they're gonna notice a few changes as well.
Yes, because we have made some changes based on feedback from the community to the factory map. I'm just gonna boot it up.
That's great.
In the upcoming update? Or?
In the upcoming update, yes. So in update 1.03 we will
Yeah.
also have some, next to the most awesome planes, we will also have some changes to the factory map. If it wants to load, yes, there we go.
It's loading, that's great.
Okay, so what we've seen in regards to feedback to the factory map is, I mean, statistic-wise, we've seen that there has been a significant improvement already on attacking this town, but we also noticed some other issues, or some issues you pointed out, and there was actually, this is the deploy zone of O2, if I say it correctly, which is this area basically, and basically the only way to get inside the objective if it was being captured was through this stairs. Oh. And we noticed that this is where a lot of people died, this is where a lot of people got camped, because it's fairly easy to just cover one stairs to get inside. So one of the big changes which Reto-moto has actually made is that the doors on this side of the factory have now been opened. So that means that from that deploy zone you can now run all the way over here, and you can enter the factory from this side. Now, to further facilitate a bit of a balance in that and to improve the gameplay, previously these gates were opened, these doors were opened, but now these doors are opened. It's just to make sure there's no direct line of sight with the other side, and to create some awesome combat inside this objective. So that's actually one of the changes which should make a significant difference in how this area is going to be played. And besides that, there's a little more cover here and there added, so you don't immediately get shot from everywhere if you try to enter your objective. And we have another change, which is on the other end, on the other objective, which should then be O1, there's actually a few changes here. This is the deploy zone. Actually, this is where your vehicles spawn, and your infantry soldiers now spawn inside here. And they even spawn a little further back, so they spawn inside here, in this large area, and previously you spawned here. The reason why this was done is because, as could be seen, is that it was very easy for defenders to get very, very fast into the objective. So it was very hard to take for assaulters. So now you have been moved back a bit, so you need a bit of a longer run. But as a benefit, we added some cover here to give you a little more cover before you get inside the objective. And we added some boost lines here and there, so there's a little less line of sight from enemy snipers, so you can actually safely leave your deploy zone. And one of the other changes is that previously these doors used to be open, but to increase the runtime a bit and to add a little more cover from this line, this door is now opened instead of that door. So they're kind of minor changes, but we hope that it has a huge impact on how the game is being played, and that there's a lot less camping and death around these deploy zones as soon as you exit. So hopefully it will improve the gameplay.
We hope so. I'm gonna ask you to actually exit it, because we need to make the prototype ready for you guys. Because when this Devstream ends, and not before, you will be able to go into the prototype and have a look at the new planes, and you will also be able to have a look at the changes you just saw on the screen. All we ask of you is to have fun. That's the most important part, almost. But we also ask that you partake and report any problems you have. And we have a survey that we would like you to fill out after playing on prototype. I think the prototype server will be open for about 2 hours today. So come join us and have fun.
Where can the server be found?
It should be on, there should be a blog post on heroesandgenerals.com explaining all of it. If it's not there, it will be there shortly.
It's not there yet, but
It's
it
not
will be
yet.
there.
It will be there shortly. I saw the draft for it just an hour ago.
Where to go to play?
Where to go to play? What's that? That's heroesandgenerals.com/what? You know that better than I.
I think it's
It's-
prototype.
if you go to-
heroesandgenerals.com.
That's it. Yeah.
If you go to prototype.heroesandgenerals.com, it will allow you to install the standalone client, because the prototype works on a standalone client as well. It can run perfectly fine next to your. You can install it next to your live client, so don't worry about that. Just don't run them at the same time. And yeah, prototype.heroesandgenerals.com. It's unfortunately not possible to connect to the prototype server using Steam.
And we should mention that anything you do on the prototype server stays on the prototype server. No, you don't get to keep the stuff on your real life account.
So
Sorry.
I did hear you get 100,000 gold again to test stuff.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
So, you know, use it for. We've had some people wasting it on the most random stuff, but you know, start up your character a bit and play the game, because that gives us the best data we can have.
Cool. We also have an RPS challenge, and that post is actually live on our website. The current challenge is about rifles, and again, we want you to do epic, funny, or fail videos about rifles, your trusty body in combat, and it can be just about anything you can imagine, as long as it's cool. All the rules for entering the RBS challenge is found on the website. It's pretty easy, and there's prizes even for the guys producing the most cool stuff.
Yes.
The deadline for entry this time is January 25th.
That's correct.
So that's a bit of time to do stuff still. And that's about it. So let's see, what did we talk about today? We showed you the new plane controls. We hope that you will like them. They are a result of extensive community feedback that we appreciate a lot. We shipped in 3 new planes. Yeah, and I can't pronounce any of them. But hopefully you'll learn, and I'll learn at some point. We should have you follow us on this Twitch channel. And as I remember, it should be somewhere around your head, Reto? Silence? 6? Trying to call
Be
you
in my head?
above your head. Please follow us on Twitch. And please stay on Twitch, because we're gonna host. We're gonna host Devix.
Or go play on prototype.
Or go play on Prototype. Either one. If there's not room for you on Prototype, come back to Twitch and watch, and then return a bit later. You can, of course, find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, and most importantly on heroesandjournals.com. The next Devstream will be in about 1 month from now, on Friday the 24th of February, where we will where we will show the features of the next update, the one that's going to be called 1.04. But that's not coming out until 1.03 is out, obviously. And that's about it. So, guys, have a great weekend and see you in game, where you can make a difference, fight with friends, and have fun.
Thank you
Bye
for
now.
watching. Bye bye.